Hello, my name is Alex Valadez, and I'm going to be reading off a script, so that's why I'm going to be looking off. But my section is the forebrain, the midbrain, and the hindbrain. I'll be teaching you what each of these are and what parts make up the section and what they do. So I'll be telling you what the forebrain does and what makes that up, and then with the midbrain I'll tell you what makes that up, and the same goes for the hindbrain. So I like to think of the sections as sort of like floors on an apartment building, but not really. But I like to think of it that way because it's like boom, boom, boom. But they're not like completely on top of each other. They're somewhat. Anyways, so the forebrain is the top, and it has the hypothalamus, thalamus, and the cortex. The hypothalamus is the part of the brain that controls your visceral functions, so that means it controls all of your involuntary feelings like embarrassment, fear, and all your sexual stimulation, but we won't dig deep into that. You can also think the hypothalamus for your hormones, so like the way you're feeling, it's like, whoa, you can blame the hormones for that, the hypothalamus. And all those mood swings, it's the hypothalamus. Anyways, the next piece of the brain is the thalamus, and the thalamus will take in all the messages that your neurons will make and that send all around your body to your head. It will send it to be processed and like filter it out and like, boom. And it processes information mostly, just be processed. I already said that, but it's like watching this video. You're processing me do all this stuff. The thalamus is also in control of your motor control, which is your movements such as running or swimming, even writing. So basically the thalamus controls the things you do on a daily basis that are like not really that involuntary, but like just something you do under like a boom, I'm gonna do this. This is me. I'm doing this. You don't realize you're doing it, but you're doing it anyways. So like when you're walking, you're walking, you don't really think about it. You're just like, okay, I'm gonna go. You don't think left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, stuff like that. Now, we have the cerebrum, and it's divided in two different parts, the left and right cerebral hemisphere. Each hemisphere in the cerebral cortex has a gray matter sheet that lays on top of it, and the cerebrum has like the most grown, evolved part of our body. It's in our brain side, and don't bother by that. It's all connected from the left side and the right side. They're connected by a large band of fibers called corpus callosum. These hemispheres both have four parts on them: the frontal lobe, the parietal lobe, the occipital lobe, and the temporal lobe. The frontal lobe is at the front of your face, so it's like right behind your enormous forehead, and it's like responsible for planning, reasoning, problem solving, as well as regulation of emotions like empathy or behavior. The parietal lobe is responsible for processing pain and cognition, which is your ability to learn and to understand. The occipital lobe is responsible for your vision, so everything you see and perceive is your occipital lobe processing it for us to understand. So like you're watching me, and hey, you can see you're processing all this. So the temporal lobe is used mostly for auditorial understanding and helps you hear. So an example would be me talking. If you understand me talking, you can think your temporal lobe for that. Your temporal lobe is making you hear and understand what I'm saying, and your occipital lobe is making you see, so you can see and hear with your occipital lobe and your temporal lobe. That's a lot on the forebrain, isn't it? Well, you can't blame it. It's the biggest part of your brain, and it does a lot, so you might want to forgive it for that. Now, onto the midbrain. The midbrain is a much smaller part compared to the forebrain, and is used really only for motor functions, such as moving or typing. Or moving your hand while typing, just like this stuff. If this part of the brain is damaged, it will show some loss of the use of motor skills. So if you get a poem like part of this brain, like that one guy did, I'm bad, I didn't do my research, but like get a pole like straight up, and you might lose some ability to do something on any part of your brain really, but you might lose like your ability to type or write or even move your eye around, just tiny motor skills, any motor skill. The midbrain was a much smaller part. Now that we got past that, we're getting to the hindbrain, which is another somewhat bigger piece. The midbrain is smaller, but it can be very important. And now we're going on to the midbrain, which is bigger. Yeah, it's about bigger. It's just more important than the midbrain because it does a lot more. So let's start. The midbrain is made up into 3 parts: the medulla oblongata, the annular protuberance, or pons, the cerebellum. The medulla oblongata is the part of the spinal cord that connects the brain. It controls the functions that you don't think about, such as breathing, and also your heart and blood functions and swallowing. It serves as a screen for information that leaves or enters the brain. The next part is more commonly known as the pons, or the annular protuberance. It connects the spinal cord and the medulla oblongata to the more important parts of your brain, like the cerebellum. The pons can literally keep you up at night because this part of the brain can keep your sleep schedule in check. So if you sleep at a certain time, then your body will be used to sleeping at that time. And so like if you get jet lag, that's basically your brain saying, hey, this isn't the time to go to sleep. What are you doing? Go to sleep at your normal time. And it's trying to make you go to sleep and you're trying to resist because you're like, no, it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon and freaking, I don't know, Sweden? But, it's used to control the brain's automatic functions, and it has a very important role in the awake state levels of and consciousness and sleep regulation. So if you have an internal clock, the pons is what controls it. Next is the cerebellum. Now don't confuse this with the cerebrum. They're 2 different things. You don't want to confuse them too. They sound exactly the same. I don't know who named all these things. Maybe some random guy with a beard, or like he just like was chilling at a park with his beard and like a tight suit or whatever. I don't know. Now all of the information that is received by the body from its different sensory and motor pathways in the brain is integrated with the cerebellum, which is why the main function is controlling movement. It controls things like balance and posture and can help you learn how to walk or ride a bike. This means if this part is damaged, then you can have a lag in posture or balance control, so you can be wobbling around like a little like a weird cat that's just like do. But you can lose those parts of your brain, and you would lose those motor functions, or like the brain. You know, if you basically hurt your part of your brain, you're gonna lose something. Like you might lose your memory, you might lose like your feelings, you might lose your motor functions, your ability to walk, run, play an instrument, whatever, listen to music, sing a song, whatever. You might lose everything. And that was the forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain, everybody. In summary, the forebrain senses messages and sends them off and regulates bodily functions for seeing, hearing, thinking, and processing. The midbrain helps you see and process hearing, for we can understand. The hindbrain controls involuntary functions. Hopefully you can see how important it is now to know these parts. So be careful out there in the world. That's all, everybody. But hey, remember to check out my my YouTube channel, you know? It's right here. See that? That's all right there. That's why I set the camera up like this, you know? You got to do this so you can have some space to put your channel. Hit that like button, everybody. And you know what? I'll see you later. Bye.